Is this the most expensive stock hunting arrow on the planet? I think it is, but they're pretty cool. Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel. MFJJ here at podiumarcher.com, looking at the Ultraview 1K arrows. Now, these are the most expensive hunting arrows I've ever seen. Figured you're all going to think that anyway, so why not lead off with that? That being said, these are a, what's the word? Well, I was not thinking of it. It's done in conjunction with Victory Archery. These are a 4.5 millimeter arrow. Now, they are a 1K weave. I don't think anybody makes a 1K weave anymore, and they're claiming some ridiculous response with this, and I wouldn't doubt it. A friend of mine actually works in conjunction with them and said he has tried to deliberately take his bow out of tune and shoot with it and see way better grouping than he's ever seen with a bow that's out of tune. So who knows? But without further ado, let's open the pièce de résistance. It is, from what I understand, $220 a dozen. Now, like anything that I sell, half dozen, sorry, $220 a half dozen. Like anything I sell, if your local shop carries it or can get it, please buy it from your local shop. However, if you're going to order it, head on over to podiumarcher.com, use coupon code MFJJ, save you a little money. These arrows are their own proprietary size and component. The component that comes with it is a 75 grain steel base aluminum collar, which if you had to do one way versus the other, that's probably the better way to do it. It's its own internal, its own external. Nobody makes components for these yet. Comment down below on you're absolutely going to love these arrows and use these arrows, but you want different components, and I'll consider making some for it. But I need a little feedback first because nobody else makes anything that's going to fit this. Like, this is its own thing. The 300 spine is 8.7 GPI. We did a little math on our kinetic energy setup, or not kinetic energy, sorry, forward to center percentage. With this, with a 100 grain tip, which is what it comes with, this is 175 in the front, cutting this arrow at 28 inches and estimating what the vanes probably weigh and the wraps probably weigh, because these are their own proprietary vanes, their own proprietary wraps. Don't know how they shoot, but they're pretty darn cool looking. These are a left helical 3-fletch with a pretty good amount of left helical. Somebody must be watching YouTube. That's interesting. 456 grains, 16.4% forward to center. Great combination. Good setup. I mean, like I said, my only gripe is the price because they are expensive, but let's see how consistent they are from batch to batch. We'll weigh them and we'll spin them. And my God, you have to commend Ultraview on packaging. This is the coolest looking package. Like, you'd want to use it for keeping your arrows in after you cut them and whatnot. It's pretty bonkers, man. These things are gorgeous, but let's compare a couple of these to each other and see what we get. All right, let's see how straight we are. That one's really straight, just glass. Perfectly straight. They do make these in two different straightnesses. I'm only going to stock them in the 1K straightness or 1 thou. 220 a fletched, half a dozen if I remember correctly. I do have 250s, 300s, and 350s in stock. I have a case of each. We'll see how fast they go. Dude, those are all perfect. Oh, got a little wobble. Just ever so slightly. Just looking at it, I'm willing to bet if you cut the arrow down at all, you probably wouldn't have any, but found one. Sorry, that's right. I got to set it aside. Penalty box for you. Glass. Oop. Gosh dang it. Glass. 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 So that's the first time I've gone through 12 arrows and only found one that was not perfect, and that I guarantee you could cut it off if you're running 28 inches of arrow length or shorter. This wouldn't have any wobble in it. So that is very impressive. Like, It's nice if they can really maintain that and really do that. It would be nice if you're going to charge that much money to know you're never going to get an arrow that is imperfect, because if you check every 12 throughout everybody's stuff, you're going to find ones that are imperfect. Let me grab my pen here and I'll do some weights. Okay. Oh, probably turn the scale on. Still. 310.2. 310.7. Oh, 311. Oh, 10.8. 10.8. Breathe on it funny. You get a weird reading. Is that touching? 310.5. 310.5. 311. 311.0. 311.0. Now I'm sure these are each weight matched inside their sixes, but we opened up 2 6s so we could measure a full dozen so you could get a fair comparison. So it is possible that some of these were 310.5 and some of them are 311. So within its own group you'd even have less variance, but 310.3. But so far I still haven't gotten more than a grain out total, which is pretty darn impressive. But anymore it seems like that's kind of a standard. Now they're 310.3. 310.8. 311.0. 310.8. Okay, so we have less than a full grain variance, or a half plus or minus. So we would say a 0.4 plus minus, which is really, really good, really consistent. Although arrow weight matching tends to be something that it seems like almost every manufacturer pays attention to anymore. Sorry to throw $400 worth of arrows on the ground. But it definitely seems like something they're paying attention to, and they're paying attention to it a lot, which is great. So that one's not nearly as impressive as the straightness, in my opinion. These arrows are distinctly unique, and the recovery is supposed to be phenomenal. I will do some shooting on them and try them out and see how they go. This does use a IP4 knock, so this is a G-knock size knock fitting, so it's not its own unique knock, and the Halo knock is what they recommended for fit. They've tried a bunch in here and they said that would fit in here for the best. The only thing that's unique on componentry is the front end, and the componentry that they provide on the front end is a steel central with an aluminum exterior, which is not terrible. Okay, as long as you still have some steel in the middle of it, it'd be pretty good. Looks like it collars over about a ½ an inch, somewhere in that vicinity. So it should be a relatively good component. Time will tell on testing that on how it holds up. These vanes are currently not available to purchase, so you can't repair these at the moment, but they are going to resolve that relatively quickly. They are going to offer them in shaft form, but probably not for a while. So those of you that want to try these but want to do your own thing, you're going to have to buy a fletched arrow, strip it, and remove it to play with it. These are, like I said, very unique. They are made by Victory, and I've had really good luck with Victory over the years for quality arrows and consistency. So I think that's a positive pairing with these guys. Their packaging is beautiful, their marketing is amazing, and I have been told that Chris B will be running this arrow. So for those of you that are fans of Chris B, this is going to be his bag. I think he's got his own combination of it, if I remember correct. But you know, I'm sure you can look that up and find it. Comment down below on what you think of this video and what you think of these arrows. And I'm sure there's going to be a crap ton of comments down below on those ridiculously expensive. But it does tend to be the trend that you're seeing in the industry with Arrows without components coming in shaft form at 270, 280 bucks now. Buying components for it, we were talking about it before we turned the camera on. If you bought a really good arrow and bought good componentry, you're going to be close to $400, somewhere around there. So these aren't that much more. It would just be nice to be able to buy them and build them the way you wanted instead of the way they did it for you, which they will address at some point. But they wanted to get their foot in the door in this industry, and traditionally Ultraview, when they make a product, it's a good product. They typically don't make cheap, janky stuff. It's usually trying to make the nicest product in the space. So my hat's off to you guys. These look really great. I will probably play with them a little bit. It's a little too close to hunting season to probably change what I'm already making, but I will do some playing with these and give you some feedback, because I believe I'm getting a set. I got our stock in before the launch so I could make this video so you can see it on launch day, which is tomorrow. So I better turn that camera off and get to editing because I have no time left. Thanks for watching.